Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Dave Giberson. I'm a retired instructional design coordinator with Online Learning Pathways. And Katz has asked me to join you all at your event this afternoon and talk about the new Open Educational Resources site that we have built in our Canvas system so that you can find free materials online that you can use with your students in your online and on-campus courses, for that matter. I'd love to be there with you in person, but I'm on holiday right now in merry old England, or not so merry old England right now. I'm in the little town of Folkestone in the county of Kent in southeastern England. You can see London up there in the upper left-hand corner. And right across, I'm right on the shores of the English Channel here, right across from Calais in France. So we've gotten ourselves a little place right on the channel. And let me see if I can show you what it looks like out the window here. There we go. Okay, so there's the English Channel behind me, and ain't technology wonderful? We can share this over this kind of distance, thanks to Zoom, one of the best open educational resources I know, and one that we'll see in the site. But let me share with you the site that we have built in Canvas. Here's my Canvas dashboard. And all of you, all faculty now should have, at least those with a current teaching assignment, should have a tile on their dashboard that looks like this, Open Educational Resources. If you don't have that, please let us know and we'll get you enrolled here. You're all enrolled as students, though you have more rights than usual in the Canvas shell as a student. So we'll talk about that in a minute. So let's enter the site. And of course, let's make sure we're all on the same sheet of music as far as what we mean by open educational resources. Basically, it's anything you can find on paper, online, anywhere on the internet that you can use legally for free and share with your students. It can include everything from a full-blown textbook to an assignment that you've borrowed from someone else that they've elected to share online. And finding online educational resources is an exciting search and usually very richly rewarded because there's so many of them out there and have been for many years. Let me start off by saying I don't claim to be a tremendous expert in the area of online educational resources, though I've used quite a few in my time, and I'm sure many of you have as well. And some of you know a lot more about OER than I do. But I built this site, so I want to share it with you, and I hope this will make it easier, particularly for those of you who maybe haven't been as familiar with open educational resources as might otherwise be the case. The site, as I say, should be available to all of you. And you all have capability to edit many of the pages in this site. So it's going to be something like a wiki. And while we have added lots of links to lots of educational resources that are available for free on the web, we know we haven't begun to scratch the surface of what's available out there. And many of you know of things that you have used or that you've seen or heard about, and we would very much appreciate you adding those to the site. And I'll show you where it might fit in. If you have any problems doing that, we'll be more than happy to help. Or if you need any, if you want to ask any questions about where you might put something on the site. But basically the site is reasonably straightforward. This, by the way, is a video that will show you how to add material to this site, mainly in the interest of keeping the site looking and feeling more or less as it does now. The vast majority of you are using Canvas and are familiar with adding content to Canvas, and that's all this is. It's a Canvas shell. We've got 4 main areas in the site. There are open textbooks, repositories of all sorts of open educational resources, not just open textbooks, but open educational materials of all sorts, from test banks to lessons to lesson plans to the variety is inconceivable. We also have a few open educational resources video sites and a miscellaneous bucket into which we pretty much put everything else. So a lot of things might end up in there. Probably the most immediately useful part of this site is the open textbooks section, and we can just point at that icon and click and open that up. And this area starts with some links to open textbook repositories, and there are many more than this on the web, but these are some of the bigger ones and some of the higher quality ones. Every one of these links will take you to a site where there are many open textbooks. That is, textbooks you can adopt and use for free, which in many cases have supplementary materials available with them as well. So we encourage you to explore these repositories yourself. But in order to help out as best we could, we've been through these and some others, and more detail with some than others. We're still working on this. This site is very much a work in progress, and we'll be adding new content constantly. But we feel we've got it at this point to where it can be useful for many people, so we're introducing it. But in order to prevent you from having to go through all of these yourself one at a time, we have created a series of subject area icons here for different academic subject areas. And if you click on any one of these icons, you can get textbooks in that area. And we've tried to do a little, just a very light curate, a bit of curation here, so that we've left out books that were like graduate textbooks in certain fields and things like that, which are obviously not appropriate for the community college environment. But please don't rely entirely on us here. Just because you go into one of these and you don't find the textbook you're looking for, don't give up, because it may well be out there. We just haven't gotten to putting it online yet, or we decided not to put it online erroneously for your purposes. So, but we have tried to shortcut this a little bit for you. For instance, if I go to physical science, I'm by training a chemist here, so I'll go to physical sciences. And there are some books in various areas of chemistry. And again, we're adding more all the time. These are not the only ones out there. Or chemistry, physics, physical science in this case. My particular favorite is the chemistry of cooking here. I intend to look into that one when I get time myself. But let's just take a look at how you might access one of these. This is a chemistry textbook from a company called OpenStax. And OpenStax is one of the leading purveyors of open textbooks on the web. These textbooks are completely free to use if you want to use them as ebooks. Students can order a print copy for a very modest cost if they wish. And that's the business model. But they don't have to, and you don't have to. It doesn't cost you anything to adopt, or the students anything to adopt. To access one of these books, just click on the cover shot. And it should take you to a page where you can adopt the book. In this case, as I said, the students can just view it online. They can download a PDF version to use offline if they wish. They can download the OpenStax app, or they can order a print copy if they wish, at a price that's minuscule compared to the average community college textbook at this point in time. But the special thing about the OpenStax textbooks are very good quality. They've been vetted by many people over the years, so they're not brand new, though they're keeping them up to date. This is the second edition of this chemistry book, for instance. And a lot of people have had input on this. So they're very high quality open textbooks. But perhaps the thing that also sets them apart are the instructor resources that come with them. PowerPoint slides in this case, solutions manual for the chapter in questions, a test bank, sample syllabus, and marvelously enough, a Canvas course cartridge. A course cartridge that was created in collaboration with our very own online education initiative in the California community colleges. This is I won't say a full-blown course. Let's take a look at it. So you can download any of these items for free, though you do have to have an account. They will vet you to make sure that you're an instructor and not a student. Student resources, though, are also available, though nothing like the instructor resources. But let's go back to Canvas, and I'm going to go to my dashboard, and here's the course. Here's a course shell, Canvas course shell, with the general chemistry cartridge, or from the general chemistry package from OpenStax loaded. And this is a wonderful start on a chemistry course. You get a home page, it's ready for customization, a sample syllabus, which includes information from the textbook, access to the textbook, and right back where we were, and an extensive set of modules. This is not a complete course. There are no assessments, for instance. Those you would need to create on your own, perhaps using some of the other resources we just saw, but quite a lot of reading material and PowerPoint. The PowerPoint presentations are in here already. So while this is not a turnkey course, it's a big step up on one if you were to decide to use this book. And speaking, I picked this one because this is a subject matter I at least have some idea about. And this looks quite credible for a college level introductory general chemistry course. So, and this is yours for the down. All you have to do is download it and install it into your into a shell that you've been provided, into a development shell that you're provided with. These course cartridges, for want of a better term, are all available directly from OpenStax, as you saw there. But you don't really have to wait until you can get vetted by OpenStax to get some if you want them, because you can find them in the Canvas Commons, one of perhaps our most important sources of open educational resources, available in your course menu in every Canvas course. This is a vast repository of open educational resources, online educational materials that people in the California community colleges have decided to share with their colleagues. It's material here from people all over the state, including from the San Diego Community College District. And it's searchable, so you can search for your subject area, which is the particular type of material that you're looking for or instrument that you're looking for. But in this case, we can just search for OpenStax. Can't get ahead of it. There we go. And here, among other things, are just all of the OpenStax textbook cartridges, and lots of other stuff as well. These are, here we've got some quizzes, just a wide variety of material. And of course, this is, as I said, just a tiny fraction of the open educational resources available on the Canvas Commons. So this is a resource you should always be looking into when you're creating a new course or enhancing the one that you already have, because this stuff is there, it's free, and it is produced by your colleagues. And much of it is produced, at least in collaboration with your colleagues in the California community colleges. And I just pulled this chemistry cartridge right off of here. All you have to do is click on it, click on the link to it, and import or download right into your course. You can just click that button, and a list of all the courses in which you're enrolled as an instructor or a teacher will show up. You just pick the one or ones that you'd like this to go into, and at the bottom, whoop, he said, and at the bottom, just click import into course. So the work of a moment to put this material into your course. And again, as you can see, it's quite high quality material and a wonderful step up in creating an online or a supplemental site for an on-campus course. These certainly are not limited just to online courses. So, okie dokie, let's get back to the dashboard and get back into the OER site here. There we go. And just another quick look here. These subject areas encompass most of the courses that you're going to find taught at the district. Though we're always, if we've left something out, by all means, let us know. We'll create another category for you and ask you to load materials that you have found that you think would be useful in that subject area, or open textbooks, I should say, into that subject area or any of the existing subject areas. You will see in every case on each of these pages, get this out of the way, an edit button up here. Even though you're enrolled in the course as a student, we've given you edit rights to these Canvas pages, so you can add content to them at will. And we'd also be delighted for you to find other open textbook repositories just on this page alone. Drop back to home here. We've also got a listing of open educational resource repositories. And this little graphic here gives you an idea of how many of those and how widely they're scattered about the world, especially in the US and Europe. So we'll jump into that page. This page is a good deal less fleshed out at this point. We're always happy to have some help with that. But these are some of the major, huge open educational resource repositories out there. Some of them also contain lots of open textbooks, but they contain lots of other more granular material as well. We've already looked at the Canvas Commons. That's probably our best one, the best thing we have access to by virtue of being one of the California community colleges. Sorry, just checking on time here. But the granddaddy of them all, the biggest one, or grandmommy maybe, is Merlot. And this is a monster. It is can be searched in a variety of ways. You can look for material in a particular discipline, and there are multitudinous ones there. You can submit material of your own that you want to share, and they will vet it and put it up there. You can create right from here and build an entire course if you wish. The smart search is quite interesting, but let's just browse by a discipline here first. Science and technology. Okay, and then things just pop up. And all of this can be downloaded and used and dropped right into your, in most cases, dropped right into your Canvas course. They're all shared through various Creative Commons licenses. You may be asked to attribute some of this material, but you're more than welcome to use it. And over here we see by the filters here, we could filter, for instance, for chemistry. And there are 4,080 resources in chemistry, like a simulation of the ideal gas law, the first one there, or a virtual chemistry laboratory. Always the stumbling block in putting chemistry courses into unusual modalities or formats. You got to have a laboratory for it to be credible at a certain level. And so just a wide variety of stuff here. You can also look for particular types of materials. Let's say you wanted assignments. Select that and a reload, and there are chemistry assignments. And page after page after page of them. And again, all of this can be readily downloaded and used. Let's see. So by all means, you're going to want to look here if you're looking for open educational resources. But many of these others are available as well. Or there are many others available as well, I should say. Let's see here. Get some of this Zoom stuff out of my way. Go back to the course. And that's just one site. The OER Commons is a huge one. I'm right next to, I'm living now in Idaho, right next to Washington. And the Washington university system, the state of Washington university system, has a tremendous selection of stuff. And my old stomping grounds at the University System of Georgia, Open Learning Resources, under their massive online academic resource database, Galileo, which at one point in time I was what amounted to the community college system of Georgia's representative to the Galileo committee. That was an exciting thing when they were first putting it together. And that there's some of that, which you'll see there, is available only to people with logins from the USG system, but much of it is available to anyone online. It's a terrific open learning materials resource. So we know there are many more of these out there. These are just the first ones we've decided to list here, but we'd love to have you find some more, list them. The video repositories are ones that you're probably familiar with. Again, this page is fairly Spartan at this point, but it doesn't mean there's not a tremendous amount of, doesn't that always happen? There's not a tremendous amount of useful content in each of these sites. Of course, YouTube, what can we say? There's not much you can, very few subjects you can't find some videos on YouTube. Of course, the quality is somewhat variable, but it varies from something that somebody made in their home office, like I'm doing right now. And this presentation is going to go up on YouTube here in a few minutes. But all the way up to materials loaded by schools like Berkeley and MIT. Is just a tremendous video repository in every academic subject area you can imagine on YouTube. Almost equally famous is the Khan Academy. Salman Khan started making algebra videos for his nieces 15, 20 years ago now, and grew this into one of the largest repositories of educational video in the world. And again, all free. And while it started out with math videos, it covers almost every subject area you can imagine now. TED Talks we've all seen, and they are archived and all available accessibly. And of course, all of this video that we're looking at here right now, the 99% of what's on YouTube, everything that's on Khan Academy or the TED site, is all accessible to people with disabilities. It is captioned. So that's not something you have to worry about. Vimeo is a smaller site than YouTube, but has some very high quality content. And we don't want to forget our own video repository here at SDCCD, our open on demand site. And This is particularly a particularly good source for Canvas videos. You just search for Canvas. You'll see our selection of Canvas instructional videos, primarily for instructors. And these videos are also available, or this site is also available at any time through the Canvas Help button. In all Canvas courses, you'll find it right here. So this is an incredibly rich selection of accessible online video that you can link directly into your Canvas courses in just a wild variety of subject areas. And finally, we've got this miscellaneous bucket here that is really a work in progress at this point. Oh, I see somebody has loaded something. Wonderful. This one is new. And many thanks to whoever loaded that. I'm thrilled. Again, we've got a link here to the Canvas Commons. And most of the rest of these are tools that are usable, at least by faculty at the San Diego Community College District, for free. Open Office is a classic example of an open tool that can be used for educational purposes. It's an Office productivity suite, word processor, spreadsheet, presentation package, database, and so on. Totally free. It is the descendant of a commercial package that was marketed by a company that was stomped out of business by Microsoft decades ago. But so-called Star Office, I think it was from Sun Microsystems, if I remember correctly. But it's been taken over as an open source project by a foundation and is kept up to date and is an exceptionally useful Office productivity suite, which your students can download and install for free, as can you, and use to their heart's content. Those of you who know me know I'm a screencasting fanatic. Screencasting just being basically what I'm doing here, recording a computer screen and a voiceover along with it, and producing tutorials or educational materials of variety limited only by your imagination. It's probably the simplest multimedia production strategy or modality that you can find. And there are free tools that will allow you to do a very good job of screencasting, notably Screencast-O-Matic, which is a website-based screencasting tool. You don't have to even install software on your computer. You just go to this site. Things are getting a little slow for some reason here. I'm going to just wait on that. And you can immediately start screencasting, and we have tutorials for that on our open educational video site that I showed you a minute ago. But probably the best thing on here is the tool that I'm using right now that to create this video that you have been using today to access presentations by people who were not able to be with you today, like me. Zoom, the premier web-based video conferencing tool that's available today. This little company started up about 6 or 7 years ago, I guess. It's just a couple of guys from, um, who were they? I'll think of it in a minute. Cisco, a couple of Cisco engineers who, the huge networking company, who decided they had a way to do something better. Got some venture funding and put this tool out. And now it's just about everyone in the world's favorite way to communicate. It is, of course, designed as a meeting or virtual classroom tool. And it is powerful enough that, in fact, you can hold full up lecture classes on Zoom with really no compromise in terms of what you can do and the quality of the experience for both students and for you. But I'm going to not step too high up on that soapbox here today. But Zoom is probably my favorite tool in the entire world, educational tool. But in addition to being a meeting tool, it can also be used as a presentation recording tool, a screencasting and video recording tool, as I'm using it right here. It is available for free to all California Community College faculty through CCC Confer. All you have to do is click here, go to Confer Zoom, sign up, and you can be using Zoom usually within just an hour or two, sometimes less than that. Totally for free. And this is a full-blown so-called Zoom Pro account with no restrictions. So it's a marvelous tool, and we can help you get started with that. But it's not just available to you. It's also available to your students for free. The basic Zoom account is free. Your students don't have to have accounts for you to use Zoom with them. But if they want to use it themselves for either recording presentations or just talking with their friends around the world, they can get a free Zoom account. And here's the only real limitation. Their meetings can only be 40 minutes in length, whereas the Zoom Pro account has no restriction on length of the meeting or the length of the presentation, the length of the class. But what they don't tell you is that if you run out of the 40 minutes, you can just start another meeting immediately and keep going. It's just a little bit of a bump in the road for everyone. So basically, for free, they can get really the same functionality that you can. So it's just a tremendous tool, and one that students can use to study with one another or simply keep in touch with their families. It's just a terrific thing. And they can get to it right from in here. This is a tool that I know Katie Palacios makes wonderful use of. I hope Katie's out there in the audience somewhere. She taught me about this one many years ago. Tremendous graphic design tool for those of us who have never been able to figure out Photoshop and like tools like that. And there are just gajillion more of these tools that are either free or so inexpensive as to practically be so for educational purposes. This was just a little starting set, some of the best ones that we knew about. But we're really hoping that we will see a lot more stuff pop up on here. And I see someone has added this. Let me go look at this. Oh, look at that. Fantastic. So we've got another OER site here from City College. Thanks so much, whoever put that up there. So we're looking for a lot more of that. Very well. Well, that sort of gives you a rough overview of the site. Let me stop the share for a second. Well, if I were with you in real time here today, this is the point where I'd stop and ask for questions. I can't do that in real time in a recording like this, but I can sure encourage you to get in touch with me if you have any questions, anything you'd like to share. I'd love to hear from you. I've still got my old district email address active. That is dgibberso at sdccd.edu. I hope you can see that. That's a little small. I popped it up there. It's just a delight to hear from my old friends and former colleagues. So please let me know if there's anything any way I can help in the use or improvement of this site. I'll ask you at this point to, such time as you have left in this session, go ahead and talk to one another about open educational resources. Ask things of the many people who are in the room there with you who have used OER in a variety of circumstances for many years now. And I will look forward to hearing from some of you soon, I do hope. Take care, greetings from England, and I hope you all have a wonderful weekend.